The starch cycle. Previously, we reviewed the tray cycle. We mentioned the tray cycle starts at the feeder and finishes when the tray is transferred back to the mogul where the contents of the tray are removed. This is exactly where the starch cycle starts, at the molding. When the tray is turned over, the finished product, say the gummy or the marshmallow, are separated from the starch. The starch is directed to the rotary sieve drum where the product and the starch are separated. Next we have the starch collection. After passing through the perforations of the sieve drum, the starch falls to the bottom of the starch bucket where it's collected by a spiral conveyors and directed to the starch sifter at the top of the starch bucket. Next we have the sifter. The sifter cleans the starch from tailings or other contaminants. After passing through the sifter at the top of the starch bucket, the starch is usually directed to the external starch conditioning system. The starch conditioning. The starch moisture level will likely increase during the product curing cycle. Reason why: the starch needs conditioning to reduce its moisture level. The first step in starch conditioning is the starch dryer. In the starch dryer, hot air passes through the starch, removing a portion of its moisture content and heating the starch up. Then we have the starch cooler. In the starch cooler, cold air passes through the starch, reducing its temperature to a desired level. The last step of the starch cycle is the starch returning to the mogul. After the starch has been conditioned, the starch is sent back to the mogul to fill trays with starch.